Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It has been a while. The last video that I published was, well, I actually published it the day I gave birth. So this video is a follow-up to that last video. If you haven't seen it yet, feel free to, go ahead and take a watch. I'm gonna link it somewhere here on the screen. But let's dive right into it today. So in the last video, I talked about packing my hospital bag. So I just want to address that first. Like, there are a few stuff that I didn't use. So I remember I had asked if it was absolutely necessary to bring check on it, the sheets, the bed sheets, the disposable bed sheets. I actually didn't get any. Um, I really didn't get any. When I went to the hospital, they had them, but I mean, it would be nice if you bring your own because you can see that they're a bit low. To the point where when I actually called the hospital, they said yes, they would like me to bring it because even if I don't get to use all of them. So how it went was I told the lady at the hospital, the nurse, that I'm only seeing the pack that has 6, and she said, well, you might only just need 2, but you can donate the rest to the hospital. I kind of thought that was weird, but when I went there, I understood. So on each bed, on each maternity bed, they had half of the full size bed sheet. So basically, for delivery, they would put you on it. So the beds already had it. So it would be nice to bring it, but it's not like you have to bring it if you don't have it or you can't get it. The next thing, the bath pan, the basin. To be honest, you never remember to carry mine. Like I got it, I had it as you saw in the other video, but I genuinely, in the heat of the moment, I did not remember to bring mine. I didn't end up needing it, and to be honest, like the other woman that I saw in the delivery area, I'm not sure about the ward because I didn't stay on the ward. But more about that later. The woman in the delivery suite, I didn't see either of them with any bedpans. There were like 13 women there. And I didn't see any of them with the little bath pan, the basin thingy. So I'm not gonna say you don't need it any at all. I'm just gonna say I didn't need it. What was the other thing? The enema. The enema when me telling us that me not carry. Me never carry. Me never buy none. Me never need it. Alright, so now that that's out of the way, let's get into what actually happened. So I gave birth on September 20th. When I recorded the last video, I was about 37 weeks. I gave birth 8 days before my delivery date. So I was at like a full 39 weeks basically. 38 and I can't count. Um, so what had happened was, first, let's go into the warning signs. A couple days before I started feeling very fluish. But me kind of did feel like the flu then a normal. I never one crazy flu, but I felt tired. I felt stuffy. I felt sick. I felt congested. And I was like, I feel like this is a warning sign. Someone go up on Google. Google said, some women experience flu-like symptoms before they go into labor. I start wait for it. 2 days passed, nothing happened, but I still had that fluish feeling. Um, there was this one day, 4 days before labor, I started feeling a strong urge to go to the beach. I felt like I was gonna go crazy if I did not go to the beach. So I took out my big pregnant self, and I went to the beach. Um, um, yeah. While at the beach, I started craving KFC. KFC was across the road from the park. And I decided to stop and grab a quick bite. I don't generally eat, KFC, but I couldn't pass it that day. So there was that. When I got home, like the stuff that were coming from abroad, they came on the 19th. They got to the house on the 19th. And I didn't hesitate. Hubby emptied the barrel, and I started just checking everything, taking out what to take out. I switched out the diapers out of my bag and put in the diapers I wanted. Of course, I couldn't take out any of the clothes because they weren't washed or anything yet, but I started just going through different stuff, sectioning them out to say what's gonna be washed first. And I literally said to my best friend, yo, I think this baby is going to come tomorrow. All our stuff them reach, and me just think she ready for come. Um, so I went to bed after packing up everything. I packed up, I just like straightened up by the room. Everywhere is spick and span and tidy. Me go bed. 2:30 usual time I woke up to pee. Went back in the bed. I started feeling some pain. I was like, maybe Braxton Hicks. Pain now stop. Me can't drop asleep. I say, oh, this not feel right. What is happening? So I started paying attention to the pain. 2:45, pains are come on, contractions are come on. I wasn't timing them yet or anything. Um, start feel them more. I said, no, sir. This feel like she a come, baby girl, I come. Yes, it's a girl, by the way. I start feel like she coming. So I waited a little. About 3 o'clock or so in the morning, I woke up, babe, and I was like, yo, I think I'm in labor. And he's sleeping, so he's groggy. He's like, I think I'm in labor. And then said, what? No? So I say, yeah. And say, ready for the drive come? It's like, no, I'm waiting because I'm not go to the hospital, go sit down. Not go up there. Go sit down. So this was 3 a.m. and I started having the contractions. I started timing them at about 3:30 or so because I realized they were strong and they were consistent. So I started timing it. So during the time when the contractions were happening and I was timing them on the app, I decided to watch a movie because, as I said, I'm not going up to the hospital to stay. So I decided I wanted to watch a movie. I chose Proud Mary, so we're watching Proud Mary. After that, the contractions started getting strong, like strong. So 6 o'clock, I was like, babe, I'm ready. We have. So at this point, I was in a lot of pain. The pains did start from like 2:45 to try to go back to sleep. That never did happen, so I decided about 5:30 I put on my clothes that was beside my bag, and then at 6 o'clock I had to call the driver because I couldn't do this no more. I was trying to wait until the kids leave for school. They usually leave at 7, but it wouldn't work. It couldn't work. Baby girl was ready. I was talking to her, while I was just waiting out the contractions, and I'm like, all right, mama, I know you're going to be ready. We're not going to go to the hospital and spend the whole day and whatever. As I was saying before, my first son, I ended up in the hospital for a week. The second one, I was there for like a day and a half. I was not doing that again. I didn't want to do that. So 6 o'clock come, driver got there about 6:05. He lived like around the corner. So he got there, I took my fat self, bustled, more like struggled into the van. And we got to the hospital by about 6:30. Yeah, there's light traffic on the road, but double flasher, low on hand, emergency. Yeah. So I got to the hospital. As soon as we pulled up, a porter came, got the wheelchair, brought me inside. I was already crying by this because I was like, oh my God, I can tell that this girl is ready. She is ready. I was feeling the pressure, the push down pressure from like 4 o'clock in the morning. I can feel it. I wanted to go to the bathroom for number 2, and I was like, this not feel safe. Me feel like if me go do that, she go band in the bathroom, and I'm like, we not going to do that, you know. Um, we were prepared for any outcome like that, but I didn't want to do that. Um, checked into the hospital. Nurse was like, "What are you here for today?" And I'm like, "I'm having a baby right now." And she's like, "Oh, you know you're in labor." I'm like, "I know." So they did the paperwork. They did after like a check, and she's like, "All right, I'm gonna check you." So I went inside for her to check me. I was already 4 centimeters dilated. No, for those of you who don't know, you're supposed to be 10 centimeters. I was already 4 by the time I got to the hospital. This was 6:45. Them check me, right? Mind the time, 6:45. Um, my intention was to video the whole thing, like have the phone in there, in the delivery room, recording it. I didn't know at the time that phones were not allowed, but bear in mind this was my intention. So she said, "Okay, you're officially in labor. We're gonna admit you. Please change into your labor clothes and come back outside, as in into the what's it called? Like the desk. Just come to her desk." So I changed my clothes and I went back around there, and they said, "All right, we want you to walk, blah blah blah. Do some squats when you're feeling the pain. Just do some squats." And I was like, yeah. I saw some other people come in the meantime too or whatever. And I was like, By 7:30, remember now she checked me 6:45, 4 centimeters. 7:30, I was like, "Nurse, sorry, but you can please check me again? Like, something changed." She said, "No, man, you're not ready yet." I said, "Nurse, something changed." She said, "All right, go on, I'll come check you." She come check me. She was like, "You're at 6 centimeters." Inside, I was dancing, but outside, me did in a pain. What me tell her say? I was in some pain. So I started trying to walk it out, and there's like a corridor. I go up the corridor. Is when I reach the top of the corridor. Please note, it's not a long corridor. It's pretty short. Um, less than 50 steps. It was pretty short. By the time I reached the top of the corridor, I couldn't move. I couldn't walk. I froze. I started having cold sweats. Me feel like me I got black out. Me couldn't manage. So like I was sweating profusely, so it was just running down. I was so hot. There were fans and AC. It was cool. I was just burning up. Um, so the nurse said, "All right, go." They showed me the delivery room, and she said, "Go into room one and take that bed." And the other nurse was like, "No, no, no, put her under the AC. You know, so she said, thank God for that nurse." So I went under the AC and I saw the sign that says no phones, and I'm like, damn. I was on the phone with hubby and I was telling him what was going on, telling him the pain, and then one contraction licked me up. See, I was like, "Babe, we talk to you on the baby band. She come, bye." Me just hung up the phone. I couldn't. Um, so at 8 o'clock, I was in there. I was curled up on the foot of the bed, the edge of the bed, and the nurse come in and she said, "Why you curl up like this? You're supposed to be squatting so the baby can come down." And I said, "Nurse, this baby ready now." She said, "No, the baby don't ready yet. You don't there 2 hours yet." And I said, "Nurse, the baby ready now." This was 8 o'clock. So the doctor came in, and they were reviewing the patients. There was one person beside me, and then, of course, the curtain and everything, and then there was me. So they came, and the doctor trying to ask me questions to fill out another form, and I couldn't answer. So the nurse was beside me, and she was answering for me. And she said she going to check me. When the doctor finished, me said, "No, you have to check me now. Like, she ready now." So she said, "All right." She check again. Oh, by the way, my water broke at 8:20. Yeah, my water broke at 8:20 while we were in the room with the doctor and everything. It had started right before, but it wasn't completely like broken. So the nurse just did it. I thought it was gonna be painful, but I literally never feel anything more than the rush of fluids. Um, when she broke the water, She checked my cervix and she was like, well, you're at 8 centimeters. And I was like, thank you. This is happening now. But me could have said thank you too much because she had checked and the pain just get way, way worse. I was like, nurse, I feel like I need to use the bathroom. Can I? She said, no, don't move. Stay right there. That baby's coming. And she said, matter of fact, let me prep you. So she took out her delivery kit and she took out everything that she needed to deliver the baby. And I kid you not, by the time the doctor done talk, she was like, all right, we're gonna start delivering you. You're going into labor now. I was like, okay. So pushing, honestly, my baby was born at like a hefty, healthy 8 pounds. So you can imagine natural birth. No tearing, no stitching, no nothing. But when me tell her say it did hot for she come out. So pushing there and with there and she had to call this other nurse to come help her because at one point, like when the baby's head started coming out, she telling me to push with all my might and I was pushing with all my might and she could see that and she was like, the baby big, that's why you have to push, man, push, look hard, I get all you got. I like she was a really great coach, that nurse. Like I think her name was Nurse Gordon. She was a really good coach. She did coaching me, but she had to call this other nurse to come help her now. Her scolding. The nurse had to climb up on the bed and put her hand on my belly and push so the baby could come out. Because her head came out. And then, like, I didn't have the physical strength to push any harder than I was pushing at that time. And they started saying the baby face turning blue. I started panicking at the same time. I was like, what do you mean blue? And she push, and together they helped me deliver a healthy 8 pound baby girl. And yeah, I took her immediately. Like when the baby come out fully, and I felt that relief and that release. There was a good 3 seconds where I didn't hear any sound. I was like, why should I cry? But then she started crying a healthy ball in her mind, and I was like, yes. And I said, can I hold her? And then say yes, and I took her. And at that moment, the nurse helped me to put the nipple into her mouth, and I started feeding her. In that instant, and I cuddled her, and I cried her, and I welcomed her into the world, and I thanked her for choosing me to be her mother. When me tell you, say, the labor something there, it's a life-changing event. No matter how often you do it or have done it before, it is an amazing life-changing event. So afterwards, now I bonded with baby girl for like 30 minutes in the delivery suite same way, and then someone came in, the nurse came, she told me she's going to clean up the baby and bring her to me, and someone will be in shortly to help me clean up. I've had 2 children at Cornwall Regional Hospital before her, and I never get them nice treatment, yeah, ever. Someone came in, and they came in with the pan with the warm water and everything, and they helped me to tidy myself, get dressed, get comfortable again. They showed me to my bed, as in outside of the delivery suite, the delivery room, but in the nursery area. Showed me my bed and gave me a cot and brought my baby to me. And another nurse came around and said, come, have some breakfast. And they brought me some porridge. Bonded with baby girl for a while. So she was born at exactly 9:54 on September 20th. I had breakfast and hubby was outside, so he brought in fruits and my mommy sent soup and everything. Lunchtime came around because Made it hunger. I would have never expected I had such a big appetite after this little girl born. I kept looking at her and I was like, "You're so big." How are you so huge? Um, I had lunch. The hospital served soup for lunch. I ended up having 2 servings of soup. Which I was happy about. I love soup. And then they did their routine checks, blood pressure and everything. My blood pressure was a little low for a while. Until they gave me 2 sets of IVs, helped me up a bit, and then later on in the evening, my blood pressure started to get okay again. In the night, we had tuna sandwiches and cucumber juice for supper. But it's still a starve. But at around 9:30, I heard, Tamika, do you have a drive to come pick you up? And I was like, yes, I do. Okay, you can go. Let's check you out. I was so happy. So happy. I did not have to spend the night in the hospital. I got to go home. Baby girl and I were fine. Perfect health. Like, she came and she peed when she born, and like a little bit after she pooped, and we were good. I showered. I was able to walk properly. My body was working good. So we were able to go home. I think after we got home, after that high, after first night, like I couldn't even sleep the first night. I just watched her. Next morning, her brothers came inside the room and we introduced them to their little sister. They left for school. You're going to be home with her later.
What color eyes does she have?
Bro. And everything. Hubby was on paternity leave. But I think I got a little traumatized, to be honest. I kept looking at her and seeing how big she was, and I kept feeling the pain of labor all over again. Every time I looked down at her, I could feel the pain, and I didn't know it was really gonna be bothering me until I went to 6-day clinic and found out that my blood pressure was ridiculously high. The reading I got was crazy, and it only got worse from there. It's been 4 months since delivery, and it's been a very, very challenging 4 months. But this video was to just tell you about the actual delivery story and the labor story. If you want to hear about my postpartum struggles, how I dealt with them, how where my dagger did, how a lot of things changed for me after having given birth to this little girl, then watch my next video. It will be out in a week, so you can look forward to that. Thanks for watching. Thanks for staying with me. Thanks for listening to me. I know I can chat. And see you next time. If you haven't as yet, please go ahead and click that subscribe button. If you liked this video, if you learned anything from it, feel free to click like, comment, let me know, your thoughts, your views, if you have any pharma feedback. If you want to share your own story about what you experienced at the hospital, feel free to comment below. I will definitely answer, if you ask me a question or something of the sort, I will answer you. But yeah, stay tuned until my next video, until we meet again. Thanks.